We have Twitch. We have YouTube. Let's see. We have YouTube. Should both be seeing something. It should be popping up for you to be able to click on in YouTube. Hit refresh.
The golf and Siege War.
It should have something that says live.
Oh dear. I don't see anything that says live.
Just refresh your window.
Yeah, refresh. I don't know how to refresh my window.
Press F5.
F5?
F5 or the little refresh icon that's like an arrow pointing back at its own butt.
See live. Thank you.
Really, that's how you want to describe it, Fog?
Hey,
Yep.
you know, that's what it looks like. I just call the shots as they are. Welcome everybody to the September 2015 Gaiscioch Family Summit. I am your host and founder, activities director extraordinaire, Benjamin Pagladapoli. And this month we are exiting the summer months, and as apparent to the outside of my window, it is raining, which means that fall is upon us, and there are football games to be played, all that good stuff happening. So the better news is that summer is always our lull. And now we can start rebuilding and getting that winter bulk back up so that we start having people to play with again. So I'm going to take us through our little agenda here. I'm going to cover some key dates that we have, the family outlook, family news and updates, Guild Wars 2 stuff, ESO stuff, and then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about chapters within the Gaiscioch family. I know this is a big discussion, especially among the ESO branch, and I want to put your minds at ease. Then we are going to talk about the live streams briefly, and I'll give you a heads up on the status of the next magazine. And then we'll open it up for Q&A. We'll have a bunch of discussion areas throughout, but that's pretty much the overall agenda today. So the first thing on the calendar, and the most important thing that I could think of that's really on a time base, is our East Coast second annual Gaiscioch Family Celebration. This is celebrating our 14th year. We are warming up in Fado's Irish Pub in Atlanta. It's actually in Buckhead, over on the nice side of Atlanta. That'll be October 16th at 7 p.m. Please feel free to bring friends, relatives, complete strangers. It doesn't matter. Bring them. You can find out more information at gsch.info/FadoEast. And then we also have our 2015 Extra Life charity event, which is getting in the works. Event leaders, if you want to run an event during this time, I highly encourage it. I'm going to be doing a unique event myself that's actually going to be based on 2 different days. And we are going to go through 12 different games across those 2 days and live stream the whole bloody thing. So it's going to be 24 hours worth of gameplay from 12 different games. Pretty much the best of the best that I've selected from the Streams of Epic Adventure. So if you want to join in on that, I will be posting up the full calendar and when, where, what level you need to be, what server you need to be, and all that good information on the Gaiscioch forums. Other than that, we will have our regular event leaders running events as best as they can throughout the days, both that Saturday and Sunday, November 7th and 8th. And just check the GSCH calendar for more information. If you're an ESO player, gsch.info/ESO events. If you're a GW2 player, gsch.info/GW2 events. And you can always join the push here to help raise money for the Children's Miracle Network by going to gsch.info/extralife. You can both sign up and donate from that page, so please feel free to do so. And then the last thing is a call to arms for Shards Online. We have a good friend that is building this game, and we want to help him out. And he's basically asked me to call in the troops and see what we can do to help stress test before they go to public or to the closed beta. That test got pushed back to September 26th. So if you are interested, gsch.info/p/133033. Yes, that's a forum post. And please sign up on there so I know who to contact. We're pretty much looking for people that could basically download the game a couple days ahead of time and then show up on that day Just hammer the crap out of it, submit some reports, and then go on about your business. It's not going to be a long-term beta. It's going to be pretty much a weekend thing. So if you're interested in helping out and getting that game ready for the public to start seeing it, definitely sign up there. So we have our family outlook for this past month. This pretty much summarizes where our traffic was for the past month, what we gained, what we lost. Typical situation throughout the summer months is a downward curve. August is usually the last downward curve of the year. So pretty much from May through August, year after year, we've always kind of gone down. Usually more drastic at the start of summer than the end of summer, but August is usually a down month. You can look by our numbers currently that we had 781 players log some kind of activity in the last 7 days throughout August. That's a loss of 1%, which isn't huge compared to prior years. Last year, we actually gained 4%, but that was also right as we were building hype for ESO and whatnot. So GW2, we had 436 active players, and that was a down of 3%. The year prior, we gained 3%. And then ESO is 255, which was down 7%. The year before, we lost 4%. So it's pretty traditional numbers, not seeing anything really different than in any other year. We should start seeing those numbers peak and go back up throughout September, October, November, and December, kind of pinnacling out in January. So definitely stay tuned for that. Growth-wise, based on new members, we had 27 new members to Gaiscioch. Welcome. If you guys are in this room right now, I'm very happy that you're here, and thank you for joining us. In GW2, we had 19 new members, and ESO, we had 8 new members. Comparison to last year, we had 44 last year overall, 25 GW2, 22 ESO. So we're slightly slower on the new membership list, but that is because we're playing mature games, not brand new ones. So for the family news, I would like to say welcome to the team to both Verve and Smitty. We selected each one of them to kind of help pad our numbers for each of the houses. The others came to a vote and decided that these were the 2 best representatives of our family in each of those wings. So thank you very much, Verve and Smitty, for joining the team and accepting that honor.
Woohoo!
Yes, we got Verve in the house, don't we?
Yeah, on behalf of Smitty, I'd like to say thank you.
Aww.
He's sort of nonverbal most of the time.
Awesome to have you guys.
I'm confident they're going to do a good job. I'm pretty sure Smitty's going to be out today. He's been getting tied up with work a whole lot, but he'll be around. So go ahead and say congratulations if you see him, or I'm sorry, depending on how you take it. Chrissy has been trying to get rid of her eldership for years, and I won't let her.
Oh.
So next up, we have Guild Wars 2, and we're going to open up with a little trailer to get you guys excited about the whole shindig. Alright, that's right. What you saw was that Guild Wars 2 has gone free to play. That means that you can download it and play it and enjoy it without having to pay for the box game anymore. So feel free to go ahead and just download that and join up with us. You will have to level up a little bit before you can get into World v. World or anything cool like that. But it is now free, so any of your friends that are curious about it, they can give it a try. I am going to kind of highlight some of the topics that we're going to cover today. We're going to cover the TwitchCon, and I'll go over that in a second. But we do have Heart of Thorns, what we know, preparing for the future, and kind of our plan to unlock guild houses and whatnot. So the next little bit is TwitchCon. TwitchCon is September 25th and 26th at Moscone West in San Francisco. ArenaNet is going to be hosting 2 full days of live programming at Twitch. .tv/Guild Wars 2. And the cool thing is they're going to be doing little guild system reveals, and they're also going to be broadcasting videos from the guilds of Guild Wars 2. That includes us. So what I'm going to do now is show you guys the trailer that I submitted to their contest to get included in their Twitch. And this is the one that they're going to air. So enjoy. And there you have it. A quick little 30-second video.
Awesome.
I really wanted to kind of portray who we are and what we do. And while most guilds are submitting, we're the best, we're, #1 rating guild, #1 PvP guild, I really wanted to focus on our product, not our guild per se. That we go out there and we help contribute to the world, whether they're in our guild or not. I also have a matching post on the forums talking about the same thing, where we do all this kind of cool stuff, events, charity stuff, all these things, and everybody is invited. You don't even need to be a guild member to attend, and that's kind of really what I wanted to get across. So yeah, they liked it, we liked it. They're going to broadcast it sometime during TwitchCon live, so that'll be a great boom for us. We'll probably see some numbers coming in from that. So expect to see a few new faces and a few new friends. Next, we have Heart of Thorns discussion, what we know. So we're going to kind of go through some of the little topics about what we know, and then open up little discussion points. Alright, so there you go. What we know is October 23rd, 2015, the Heart of Thorns is going to be released. With it comes a guild system redesign, World v. World changes, including a new borderland and new claiming structure. And then finally, rating is making its lovely appearance into Guild Wars 2. This is something that was one of the reasons why Guild Wars 2 didn't do as successfully as it would have at launch, was because it lacked the endgame. And with this new expansion, they are actually adding several new raids, so you can look forward to that. I'll be covering a little bit on that here in a moment. And then the other thing is the free-to-play. They announced at PAX that you could download it and play it now free. That was a big selling point. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at the guild system and what's coming in that. And that's a little glimpse of the guild system. One of the big things is the guild housing. There's actually 2 houses that we can choose from. The Sky one, which is going to be the one I'm going to target for Rawl. And then I'm going to do the other one for Sork, our community event arm. And then we're also probably going to do the other one for either Morgan or Anu. And whichever the other one is, we'll do the Sky one again. So we're going to try to open up 4 different guild houses. 1 for our community events arm, 3 for our own arms. The reason we do this is because when we get into the World v. World changes, we want to be able to claim things with all 3 of our main wings. And we want to have those main wings have resources available to them so that we can claim things and have active buffs and things like that. The most recent point of interest actually outlines the buffs that you can do with guilds. And I think it's going to be really critical, especially being on Sanctum of Raw where we're kind of short on guilds to begin with. This will allow us to pretty much dominate a field with 3 different claims, plus Sork if we level that one up too. So we'd potentially have 4 different claims that we can use to help upgrade and protect our homelands. So next, I kind of want to talk about the new World v. World. Does anyone right now have anything that they kind of want to bring up about the guild system before we go on?
Yes,
Go ahead.
Go, Muddy.
okay, alright, the thing I want to bring up was the fact that, was that you mentioned a redesign, but yeah, we know about the guild halls and whatnot, but yeah, what are the changes that are, what are changes are going to be coming besides the guild halls? Like for example, is there could be any changes? I heard of some changes to the influence system or whatnot. Can you elaborate on some of the more finer changes?
Yes, the influence is eventually going to go away. They're going to allow us to convert it to, I believe, favor or forget the A word. There was an A word, like annulment.
Ethereum?
Yeah, Ethereum. That's the word. So it'll convert into one of those. For right now, we're trying to stockpile as much influence as we can just because it's going to change into some kind of currency, and we don't know what that currency is going to be used for, but we want to make sure that we have it. The other thing that they've mentioned is that things are going to cost gold out the door. So we are stockpiling gold as a family, trying to collect as much as we can, and then I've basically kind of plotted out all the different gaps I have in my crafting supplies. And I've turned those into guild quests to try to fill in all the types of materials that we have so that day one we can start building buildings and production stuff and whatever else we can get our hands on. I'm trying to make sure that I have 1,000 of every single resource so that we don't have to stress and we can just basically pass the stuff out and say go build, and our crafters can go to work. There's going to be a lot of team building going on here because we're going to be building up 4 different houses. And we're going to plan the events to go raid these houses, so they'll be up on the calendar. So like we will schedule a Gaiscioch Aral during prime time sometime, and then we'll do like a Gaiscioch Morgan on a weekend and a Gaiscioch Anu on a weekend. And Sork, I will plan it for everybody that's in Sork to be able to attend that one and make a big shindig out of it. I might even pass out a precursor, who knows. But I think that could be a lot of fun. And draw some attention and give some people a chance to see that stuff that normally wouldn't be able to see it. So I don't want to get them all started right out the gate. I kind of want to phase them so that we not only have enough time to build the first one, but we give it enough time for other people to be able to come in and catch up and be able to see that opener event. So the whole sieging of that zone and taking it over and building it up. I want everyone to have a piece of that and be a part of it. But other than that, there's a whole series of blog posts that cover a lot of the things that are going to kind of be changing. There's talks of alliances. I don't know where that stands. I haven't seen it since they mentioned it in the blog. But yeah, there's, until we get a little closer to launch, I don't think we'll know the full story. But what we have seen is the World v. World is going to be very critical for guilds. There's going to be a lot of benefits to being in a guild when you're in World v. World. But then, the other stuff, like, the guild house, building up that, having access to the teleporter, guild missions being triggerable rather than having to spend influence and merits to be able to unlock them. You can basically go to the guild house and say, okay, I want to go do this, so we're going to kick off a bounty. And, me and my friend and 2 of his friends are going to go kill this bounty. So it'll be, a weekly challenge that you can do, and you can just kick it off any old time and do it with whoever you want to do it with. So it won't be, we have to schedule this big to do and draw everyone out here so that we can go do it. It'll be basically be hey guys, who wants to do this? Just go do it, So that should be a real boon for the community because, you won't have to, schedule things around that stuff. You can just pick up and go and do it.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's still to see what's to come. And if your goal is to build these, is it 3 guild halls now? I'm sure we're going to have to do a lot of work to build them as well, Fog, along the way.
Yes, it's 4 guild halls, and we will be doing a lot of work along the way. But this is Gaiscioch. When have we shied away from impossible missions?
Oh, never.
Plus, we got Bean.
Never.
We got Bean and Jay. They have houses that have supplies for everything under the sun. So we'll just loot their houses and say thank you.
Well, as long as I get a thank you.
Exactly. And hey, Jay has a party hat. Who could say no to the party hat?
I wanted to ask at the start, am I doing it right, Fog?
Yes, entirely. That was a great party hat.
But yeah, a thing I wanted to throw in with the guilds, for anyone that didn't get the info yet, you will be able to see guild chat out of all the guilds you have joined, not just the one you are representing once the changes come. So you are not bound to represent Gaiscioch to chat in guild chat with Gaiscioch. You can represent any of your guilds and still see the guild chat. There will be different like G1/G1/G2 for different guild chats to communicate in, and you will be able to see them all.
Very much so. Good call, Jay. I would have forgotten that one. Yeah, it's great because at the start of every short mission, I send a private tell to every single person on the roster that's currently logged in. That's usually 130 people. So this will allow me to say one thing in guild chat, and everybody that's online will be able to see it. So I won't have to spam 130 people with the same message, which will probably save me about 15 minutes before each event. So that's a very nice thing on our front, especially running community events with Sork. It'll definitely help streamline things. So let's go ahead and move on to the World v World.
Yep.
Everybody went silent.
Leslie, Twitch. Everyone go silent because we're watching the video.
All right, I see the Twitch, so I missed it, did I?
Yeah, Twitch and YouTube are videos, and we are live,
all right.
So we're broadcasting the videos.
All right.
Did they catapult a cow?
Yes, they do.
Yes.
It's been in there for a while, but yeah, it's a poisonous gas that strips supply away from players, and prevents them from healing.
Yeah, it hurts.
So the new Borderlands is actually going to be in beta for everybody next week, Tuesday through Friday, I think that's what it was.
What?
I'm thinking of holding our Tuesday World v World over on the PTS client, just because I'd love to have an opportunity to lead you guys off some bigger cliffs.
How did you get? Where did they post that information? I missed that.
It should be in your mailbox, and it's been on the website this last week. So it's a World v World test. You can download the PTS client by logging into Guild Wars 2. And
the resin behind us.
So I checked my mail when I saw that announcement and didn't get it. Is there only some people from Gaiscioch who got in?
Oh, it's not a Gaiscioch thing. This is a who pre-ordered the game thing.
I haven't pre-ordered, so I'll be out of it. So should I bother doing World versus World?
Next week, I really kind of want to do that because I could live stream it too, and that'd be a good way for me to kind of map out things and show people stuff before it goes live. And that's going to be critical. Is we're going to have to learn the terrain. And pretty much all we'll do is stay on our home borderland and roam around that, show the different things. One of the things with the latest point of interest, they show lots of the cool little abilities that you can do, from little banners you can pick up. They have these super good skills to transforming yourself into a motorcycle. I mean, I thought that was pretty cool. You can literally turn yourself into a siege weapon and drive around the battlefield, running things over and doing siege damage to things. I mean, it's pretty neat. The one thing I definitely like in this video, and from talking to the devs, is that every single one of the objectives has a unique feel. So whereas the current Borderland, when you siege hills, or you siege garrison, or you siege bay, all the lords fight the same. There's no variety. They're not much of a challenge. You can pretty much beat them in your sleep. Each one of the lords, including the towers, has its own mechanic, has its own style of fighting, has its own look. They're all different. So like the lord in the northeast tower is going to be entirely different than the lord in the southeast tower, which adds a great deal of variety to the game. And I think it's much needed at this point. And I really feel that this new Borderlands is going to be a huge boon for the game. And it's a lot bigger. I mean, it's huge. And I got to give my hats off to the team and Tirza for all their hard work. That video looked amazing. The stuff I've seen from PAX and whatnot looks amazing. I'm really looking forward to these new World v. World changes and the new upgrading system, being able to claim things remotely, see how they're doing remotely. Those are all really, really good things that have been...
Yeah, I'm just bummed out because I didn't pre-purchase, so I'm going to miss the initial trying to get, to see it and know what's going on. I won't be able to play with you guys, honestly.
You can watch it on the live stream, and you'll see step by step everything that's going on.
All right.
See you there, or get in there and pre-purchase. If you pre-purchase, you get into all those betas. So.
Oh, I know, Fog, but we've never used credit cards, and it won't let me use gems yet, so I'm kind of out of lunch there.
Fog, was it their announcement for the third World vs. World Borderlands stress tests? Because I checked that post, and it does not mention anywhere that it's the pre-order pool, just that the pool was increased, and you should check your email if you signed up for the newsletter.
I know Owl got in too, because he's going to record it how you do too, he said. So I don't know.
Pretty sure it was random based off of whether or not you signed up for the Guild Wars 2 Heart of Thorns newsletter or pre-purchased. But random, nonetheless.
Okay.
Yeah.
Probably not everyone.
Well, I will be there nonetheless streaming, just because I really want to kind of get the wraps on this and show you guys what's up. We'll probably still do missions in on Sanctum of Raw, and then I will switch for the Siege War portion with the people that do have access.
That sounds good. And you'll live stream it. Now, when you live stream it, is there any way that we can see that live stream? I don't understand. Sometimes I see the live stream when I click on our website, but is there any way us that didn't get to go there can see it after if we're not actually in
YouTube.
this? All right. On
YouTube, our videos are always saved. We have literally 170 some videos there. Every time we live stream, it saves there.
All right. Because I'll need help finding that.
Yep. Just go to gaiscioch.com, click on YouTube. It's right there under Gaiscioch live streams.
Oh, all
click
right.
on that.
Okay.
Should be front and center. So next topic. Go ahead.
By free to play, are you saying that the original client is now going to be free and you'll still have to buy Heart of Thorns?
Yes.
No, it's free to play right now, isn't it, Fog?
Yes, you can download and play it right now.
But there's limitations.
But the Heart of Thorns is a paid expansion onto that free game.
They have limitations on the free-to-play right now. That's what I've heard from the free.
They don't let you World v. World until it's third person or first person. You can do either.
Oh.
But honestly, I would only play in third person unless you're really good at jumping. But it's I enjoy playing first person sometimes when I'm shooting videos, just because it's better for cinematic feel. But I wouldn't recommend it for a full-time style. But the free-to-play basically prevents you from using map chat. You can send private tells, you can talk in parties, you can talk in squads, you can talk in guild, but you can't talk in map chat, and that's basically to prevent gold spammers. You can also only send a certain number of mails per minute, I think, or I don't know if you can send mail at all. I'm pretty sure you can. I've sent tons of mails to people, so. But the other thing is you got to be, I think, level 60 to World v World.
At least one character. At least one character on that account.
Yeah, so which isn't too hard. I mean, GW2 is really easy to level up. I mean, it's 80 levels, but every single level is the same amount of time. So the amount of time that you spent to go from level 1 to level 2 is the same amount of time you go 79 to 70 to 80. So it's all flatlined. There's no curve like on ESO, where every time that you level up, it gets harder to level up again.
And if you come to World versus World and do 2 weeks worth of events with all of us that lead up there, you will get to level 80 in no time, won't you, Mar?
Exactly.
With a paid account.
Winter.
If you don't have a paid account, come to the various boss hunting events, GMOS events, the zone unlocks. Those will get you up really quick too. And then if you can do the boss hunt.
Yeah.
With the free-to-play, you also unlock all the new player zones become unlocked, so you can port directly to any one of the new player zones, and there's 4 world bosses that spawn there every day, and running that little 4-boss train will help you level up a great deal.
Oh, they actually let you open up those areas too, eh?
Yep. So I want to get to the last topic for the GW2, and that's raiding. So here's the little video on raiding. So there you have it. You've got raiding, you got flamethrowers.
That's insane.
And the big news that I dropped on Facebook this last week that included a whole lot of party hats is that I am going to lead a raid. So yes, I am going to lead a raid, and I'm looking for 9 brave, incredibly stupid people to follow me into a raid. But basically what I said on Facebook is if you want to come along in my party, you got to have a party hat. So we've had some really good, fun submissions of people posting their party hats. And I'm probably going to do this more than once. So if you are interested in doing a raid with Fog and finding some new cliffs to fall off of, I will be happy to lead you through a raid.
Follow hoof. That sounds great, Fog.
None of you guys, I don't think, except for, I think, Nona, is the only one here that's ever seen me raid. So the last time I seriously raided was Dark Age of Camelot, killing that bloody green dragon, and it took me 2 years to finally kill him. So I'm going to return to it, and we are going to conquest this here raid thingy. And that little thing with all the tongues is definitely going to die. So, you know. And if all else fails, we're just going to get flamethrowers, make it extra crispy. So, yeah, I have no idea what the rating's going to be like in this game, but I figure, you know, I was the one that back this with Roger, and I told you guys that there would be some in-game content, and there finally is. So now I'm going to be your guide through it. So I'll probably be scheduling one event a week to basically form up and do a raid. We'll probably start with the first one and then work our way through them until we hit a breaking point.
Well, I don't want to conflict with you. None of us want to conflict you with your events, so we'll wait and see what happens and move ours around, I guess.
Well, it's only a 10-man raid. There's no way I can take more than 10 in there. So
what? It's only 10 minutes in there?
No, not 10 minutes. 10-man, as in 10 players.
Yeah, 10-man, but geez, I bet you it goes on for a while.
Yeah, but you don't have to cancel your events because I'm running a raid. In fact, if you're in World v World, I would keep doing World v World. This is going to be a PvE thing, and it's going to be only 10 people can come along. So and I'm going to end up having to put this team together based on what classes we need and what classes we have. This is raiding, so you don't just slap on any lobby and call it good. It's going to take a great deal of finesse.
I'd love to join too, but I won't be able to join until I can buy it. And if they're going to allow gems October the 23rd, I'll be buying it the same days. I don't know if it's going to come in the stores fog yet. It won't let me buy it with gems.
With them being their own publisher, my guess is that it's not coming to stores. Or if it is, it's going to be a code that you type in. But yeah, ArenaNet announced that they are their own publisher now. That doesn't mean that they don't have ties to NCSoft. I know a lot of rumor mills are saying that they've broken off of NCSoft, and that's not true.
Oh, really?
ArenaNet is entirely owned by NCSoft, and NCSoft is not in trouble financially, as many people claim that they are. They're rich enough to be able to buy Activision twice. So, and in fact, if it wasn't for the SEC, they would have bought Activision. Last year, they actually put a bid to try that before they got shut down. So. Yes, situation's not dire. There's no grand conspiracy, no breaking off of things. They're just no longer sending boxes to GameStop. So they're basically handling their own publishing because it's not needed to be in a box anymore.
Well, certainly that they'd let us buy it for gems if we can't get it in the store. I mean, if everybody needs a credit card or a PayPal or the bank card, I mean, I'll never get it. There's no way. I've always bought GW2 expansions or GW1 and their expansions and GW2 from the store. But I can also buy the gem cards in the store now, so certainly they do it for the gems. That's a lot of money for the gem cards for 2,000.
Right, but Leslie, you also got to look that time is advancing. In fact, the Target down the street from me doesn't even carry gem cards anymore. They don't have a PC section at all. They pulled that entire thing out. You can't buy gems. Like, literally, the only way you buy them is through the websites. And that's kind of the way that the world's going. People aren't leaving their house to go shopping anymore.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Well, that would be sad. I finally had a store in Campbell River that was selling me gem cards the last 3 years.
Yeah, well, I went to go buy my mom's gem card, and they didn't have any more. They pulled them all out. So, yeah, it's becoming increasingly more difficult to find those things. So, sooner or later, you might end up having to buy things online like everybody else. I mean, that's just kind of the way that the world's going.
Pish posh.
So, rating aside, who knows what that's going to be like? We've seen some videos. We got a little write-up on it. Can't really say much else. But next up, I wanted to cover events. So, we have our Guild Wars 2 event leaders. Anyone want to take the floor and promote your event?
I would like to do one. I would like you to check at Fog. Someone else did earlier, and I talked to Jay and a few guys last week. Great success with the dungeon runs, and so I wanted to make a dungeon run fundraiser. I only have it for this coming Monday right now. My dungeon runs are geared to train people to do them fast with exotic gear and be level 80. So the guys that come, sometimes we get 2 parties. What I'd like to do is SE1 and SE3 before reset, and then everybody else is welcome after that has the level of that dungeon. And we're going to make the gold from that and donate it to Fog. His mail address is in there for our new home. So check that out and see if I made any typos, and that will be Monday night from 4 to 6 o'clock.
Sounds good. Anyone else got an event?
I would love to promote my events.
Do it, Jay. Do it.
Well, first, I'll start off with my Sunday Funday event, which is an event I'm holding Sunday kind of afternoons. It's just where we go out into the world of Turia and do whatever we feel like doing. Some days it's going to be a certain type of achievement. The next week we'll maybe head into the Silver Wastes. Whatever I feel or we feel like doing in the world of Turia, we will be doing. This week, for instance, since it is the beta weekend, and we are going to head into the beta. Then I have my Thursday's event, which is Achievement Hunters, where each week I will look at one or a few more achievements that we will go after. So I'm updating the description of the event each week to put in the achievement or achievements that we will be going after that week. So feel free to check that one out if you love achievement points like I do. Also, if everything goes as planned, I will have a regular World v World event up on Friday mornings.
Sounds good. Thank you, Jay. Do we have any
Jay?
Yeah.
Jay, can you tell us what possible achievement you're going to be doing this week?
I don't have one planned yet.
Go ahead and touch base with him on the event, and he will let you know what's up. Anyone else have an event?
I'd like to give a quick shout out that the play events will be attempted again next month in Guild Wars 2. We do have one in ESO as well that is going to be happening this month. Please take a look at the website. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me, and I will give you any information you need about how those work.
Yes, well, I'll have to contact you in Gamebox because I keep seeing them and I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do. So, yes, I will get you in Gamebox, huh?
Sounds good. Thank you. I love our little drama club that we got going, and I'm looking forward to hopefully streaming some of these. So for my camp, I will be doing my traditional Tuesdays Siege War we'll have the missions at 4:30/4:45, porting into Tequatl at 4:50, killing Tequatl at 5 o'clock sharp, and then we are going to fly through the missions as fast as we possibly can to get to the Siege War at 6 p.m. This week, the Siege War is going to be on the PTS so that I can live stream some of the new World v World for you guys. But the following week, it'll be back to normal out in St. Rural. We also have our Saturday night events. Saturday night, 11 o'clock, we do missions to Quaddle and World v World, and I'll be flying through those tonight and every Saturday night. And then I am continuing my trend of trying to spawn up little welcome events for the new players that are coming from the free-to-play angle, trying to help them out and teach them a little bit about the Guild Wars 2 world, get them started, get them off the ground, get them some loot. And those are turning out pretty well. We started with like 2 people, and then by the end of the day we had like 20 new players following us. It was pretty cool. So welcome kit wise, I have been passing them out like candy. Holy cow. I mean, I probably went through roughly about 60 welcome kits this week. So keep on donating that leather and ore and stuff. Yeah, we're making a lot of welcome kits. So it's your resources have gone miles to helping keep that production flowing. So thank you so much for donating. That is a huge help, and it's helped us keep the new players interested, keep them excited about playing the game, and has resulted in several people coming to join our family. So thank you so much for your help, guys. You guys are doing wonderful for that.
I have one question in there. You're still not sure if the raids will be more important than the Tyria adventure. If you're going to do the Tyria adventure, you're still going to need the exotic weapons donated and things like that, aren't you? The bags and everything else.
The exotics go out every single week without the Tyrian adventure for the Sanctum Rural site.
Oh,
Sanctum Rural site gives out 4 of those every week. Every month we give away a full set of exotic armor. So, and then depending on how we do each week, gives another item, either a gold, silver. We can even give ascended items through there.
Yeah, I know that. Okay, so we still need those. All right.
Yes, those are never going to be removed. We will always take donations for the exotics. The big factor right now that I'm trying to get a straight answer out of ArenaNet is whether or not the precursors and legendaries will be bind on pickup come Heart of Thorns. Which, if I read right, it should be anything that's crafted is bind on pickup. Anything that is dropped is not bind on pickup. So I'm trying to get confirmation out of somebody. Otherwise, I'm going to have to throw together events really fast before October 23rd and pass out as many of the precursors as I can. So, yeah, once I get an answer, we'll build a battle plan around that. But I'm pretty certain that anything that's dropped will still be able to be sold, TP'd, traded, mailed. So that's a very good thing. It's just the crafted versions that are going to be built through achievements that are going to be bound to your account. So at least that's the way I'm reading it. So we'll see.
I got a friend that made a lot of questions to me about Heart of Thorns, and is this the right place and time to make those questions or no?
You can try, but all I know is what's been posted.
Okay. He's asking me if it is more of the same, the new Heart of Thorns content, because he wants to know if they are going to push more levels, like we are going to be at level 100, and if we are getting more equipment, like a new tier beyond Ascended.
No. GW1 never upgraded its levels. Like, still today, it's 20 levels. The ArenaNet team is very focused on building content that expands that with the mastery levels. And the various things that unlock. You're going to need these mastery levels to be able to progress through certain areas. So like you won't be able to go through a certain area because you can't fly that far, or you don't have the magic juju to open the door. Once you have the magic juju, that door will open.
Yeah, we aren't getting a new armor tier. What we are getting is legendary armor that will have the same stats, just that those stats will be changeable, which will be awarded, be makeable by finishing the raids.
Yeah.
Basically, it's something that's needed to be in there from the get-go, and they're finally putting it in. But yeah, it's a lot of unpaved territory. I mean, the big difference here is the maps are a lot bigger, a lot more vertical. If you played any of the beta, you can tell that it's a very vertical map, and there's many hidden areas that you didn't really know were there.
So from the beta, the only thing we have seen so far is the upper top of the 3 tiers, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
We've actually seen the middle tier. There's more above us and more below.
Oh, there's more above you guys that I've been watching? Holy cow.
Yeah, there's like the whole canopy level.
Yep, we got the ground level, we still have the roots and the canopy.
So yeah, each independent map kind of seems like it's multiple maps stacked on top of one another, so it's kind of neat. And hey, as Captain Fall Damage, there's plenty of places to fall.
Yeah, why do you need all that saffron, man?
It's the biggest hole I have. So it's the biggest hole in. It was a material until I looked in. The heck, what is saffron? And I'm like, is that a plant or is that like something that you buy? So I'm just stocking up 1,000 just because. And then the breads are really good, so we're going to be passing those out for a little bit of a higher level welcome kit. So it's good.
Right.
That I'm trying to give you guys fun things that each type of profession can make. and get contribution for it in a way that I can take whatever you give me and help do something with it that helps the community. That's pretty much what
Yes.
my end game goal is.
Oh, also, about the worthy world, can we use the gliders on the new Borderlands, or gliders are exclusive to Heart of Thorns content?
I'm pretty sure. I think the gliders are exclusive to Heart of Thorns content. I don't think you can use them anywhere else. So
it's been confirmed that they are.
Yep, only the new PvE maps on Heart of Thorns will use the gliders.
Well, think of all the stuff we have to build for our guild hall so we can use it in World versus World. There's a lot of neat stuff we can build for there for sure.
Right, and the great part is that it's going to encourage us to play with one another, which is a huge boon for us, because right now you got dungeons, which is 5 people playing together. You got some zone clears, which most people only want to clear a zone once. They don't really want to go back and do it again. The boss train just kind of makes you mind numb after a while. So, really, the only content that you have that kind of changes right now is World v. World, and this will give us something that we can, as a team, go together and put together. If we got to build a blacksmith or something, we'll pull together. Our resource farmers know where to go to get the resources. Our crafters know what they need to be able to craft. It'll be great because we'll have this nice little agenda in front of us and say, hey, this is our next task. We gotta go do this. How do we get to this position? And it pulls us together as a family. So it's going to be really good. And we'll probably know more through September going into October. I suspect by October 1st we'll probably have all the information in front of us, and it'll be full hype train mode.
It isn't already?
I doubt it. I doubt it. I mean, the way that they're given little tiny cookies, they're sitting on a bunch of content, pulling us all the way up to launch. So I'm willing to bet we're going to keep seeing these little drops. I mean, they're going to be doing TwitchCon. TwitchCon's going to be non-stop drops. So, who knows? They could tell us that we get a pet shatterer. I don't know.
I already suffocated because I hyperventilated so much at each of the announcements, so I'll probably be dead when Heart of Thorns launches.
Comes now with a gas mask. Pure oxygen. Yeah. Alright, guys, well...
Quick question. I have just one quick question about Facebook. I'm not really a Facebook user, but I guess I learned that I'm missing out on some news by only following the website, the Gaiscioch website.
Yes, and the Gaiscioch magazine site is great for news. I have every major news affiliate streaming through the Gaiscioch news site.
What I mean specifically is I didn't know that you were recruiting raiders. And I look at the Gaiscioch website a couple times a day, but I don't normally look at Facebook. So just curious when I should look at Facebook. What kinds of things should I expect to find?
What I do, Shmee, what I do, I check my mail, and then I go up to Facebook, I put my husband back, and I go straight to Gaiscioch. I read Gaiscioch website every day.
But I don't normally, I mean, what else am I going to miss out on from not looking at Facebook, I guess is what I'm asking.
Nothing. I mean, eventually my raid idea will make it to the website. I was just having fun with it. So, but we post on Facebook all the time just so that, we keep the community going. People get to know what's going on in each other's lives. It's a way to connect past the game. I can't do the stuff that they do on Facebook on Gaiscioch.com.
You can see Smitty's 37th birthday video and some pictures that I took and other people. It was awesome, Shmee. His Golem rush for his 37th birthday. It took us an hour to build them all. That's why I check it every day.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something that we usually check on our phones and whatnot when we're out and about. It's good. So, gsch.info/Facebook. We'll take you directly there.
Okay, thanks.
Also, Jay's hat.
Yes, Jay's legendary hat. One that I found for Soren.
I mean,
Which
I
is
didn't have
epic.
a picture, so I thought I'd just make one.
It's okay, I pulled a giraffe hat picture.
I saw that.
Alright guys, we gotta get moving. So I'm going to flip on over to ESO.
they're not talking
Video
or
time.
moving.
No, they're twitching right at the moment. They're watching some kind of video. Mine keeps lagging out, so I shut it off and I'll wait for them to come back.
Yeah, mine keeps lagging.
Guys, quiet. Alright, there you go. That's the Imperial City trailer. It just launched. Our people have been having a great deal of fun in there. But the big question on everybody's mind is, what campaign do we want to be in? Because Azura Star is currently full, long queues to get in. People actually want to be able to do this thing. So we need to come up with both not only our primary campaign, but also our guest campaign, and kind of decide where we'd want that to be. So I kind of want to open up the floor to you guys, and let's see where it goes and what you guys feel is the right choice. I'm kind of on the mind that True Flame should be our primary.
Yes, True Flame and Chill Ren is your secondary guest.
Yeah, that's what I would go with. For what I've seen this week.
Does anyone object?
Sounds fine to me.
Sounds good to me.
All right,
Can
True
you
Flame.
change your home?
I do have one thing to say about Thornblade. Last night when we were on Thornblade, that for the most part we ran around and were able to do activity there with uncontested. So the one thing that Thornblade has going for it is the fact that since we are EP and we are EP dominant there, and it's going to take a lot of effort to get the material necessary for all these new equipment and various other things. I think it really, as far as guest, would be a much better solution. As far as PvP, I think that's not a good solution.
Chillren is also EP dominant.
But
We own everything in
Thornblade
Chillren at the moment.
We have a week.
Thornblade, I've been on both, and Thornblade was like almost non-existent opposition.
Children has been also.
I expect
I'm okay with
things to
either
start
as long as
evening out a lot, though, because people are going to be searching for where they can find more people to gank easily, given the changes in Imperial City. They really are. So it's going to change a lot.
Yeah, historically it's changed a lot, but the one thing that Thornblade always has been EP dominant.
I would say no, because that's where I used to run my events, and we were not dominant when we would run.
There were a couple of times when it was not EP dominant, but for historically, if you looked at a weekly basis and averaged it, it was definitely an EP dominant server or campaign.
Well, these things have changed on most campaigns, with a few exceptions, monthly over the past 6 months. And it might be something we might want to revisit a month and a half down the road. I mean, I'd really would like for us to have one competitive and one non-competitive campaign. One campaign where we can go to when we're looking for a fight. And another where if you're wanting to do that Imperial City and without all the annoyance of ganking, you have that.
Well, if they ever put keeps back in to that rotation, making you have to unlock it, Thornblade might be a good option.
So,
Is it True Flame and Chillrend?
Chillrend and True Flame are our current choices right now, with the debate on Thornblade.
Okay.
Chillrend is a scroll only campaign, so only the scrolls count for points.
So is
Everything else
everybody
not.
going to be able to transfer?
Yeah, it's just you just go in there and transfer. It's a cooldown and it's cheap now.
Oh, you're talking about, but home will be True Flame.
Yes.
I have heard, and I haven't verified yet, that party queues will work.
They
They
without
do.
home or guest.
That's how I'm in Chillrend right now. So if we have people that are still sticking with Thornblade, worst case is we can have them party everybody else in group queue.
Also, it is not cheap to change your home campaign. It is 150,000 AP points.
I don't have that many.
So many people will have to wait out the 30 days in order to leave Azura's.
Yes.
The 24 days left.
Right. Well, all we can do is plan for the future. So we can group queue to get people in the meantime. Just set your thing to transfer there at the end of the period, and work your way in. Fact of the matter is, we as a community can't roll into Zero Star together. We're going to be stuck in queues for 50% of our event. So it's either go Asuras or go True Flame, or we just wait in queues.
Yeah, neither one of those are good.
My concern is that after the 30 days, all these people that have been in Azura Star are going to feel like the queue is so long that they're going to transfer to True Flame, and we're going to end up with the same problem.
There you go.
We'll just have to see that you've got that variable. You got how many people are going to feel they've completed the Imperial City and leave the game again. You've got several variables that we can make some educated guesses, but they're still going to be guesses.
Yeah, I haven't invented a machine that can tell the future yet. I'm working on it. But right now, the best course of action looks like True Flame. And if we got to wait out the days to do that, then so be it. But my events are still going to be on the Blackwater Blade, helping the Lobby campaign. I still want to do a little bit of the Imperial City inside the Lobby campaign, even though the loot you can't open yet. Chances are that'll change.
I know roughly this time last night, True Flame had a queue of about 1 or 2 slots. Azura's had a queue of about 70 slots.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a sucky situation all around. But worst case scenario, we just taxi people in. I mean, we got to do that in Guild Wars 2. We got to do that here. I mean, it's easy enough to do. Just party queue.
Yeah. Also, what I did was I just said I'm not going to choose until we actually had a discussion about it. So it's not a big deal for me.
It's just the unfortunate nature of the game. I mean, there's no way to really tell where it's going to go.
Part of this is the influx of players. Part of this is all the PvEers who have come into PvP too. So it may not have quite as much drop off.
Alright guys, we are going to move on to events. So, do we have any event leaders that would like to promote their events in ESO?
Can I just throw this out? I was thinking this whole Imperial City. I'm like, yeah, DLC, blah blah blah. But it is fantastic. We have been having so much PvE fun in there. A lot of people who have never spent any time in Cyrodiil have done a whole bunch this week. So it is terrific.
That it is. I mean, it's quite enjoyable. So, thanks to the people that have been running those events. It's been a lot of fun for everybody.
Okay, and if you want to get your low vet up, the Craiglorn runs that I'm running on Saturday nights are fun because we all get together and we get to run together. And if you got a vet 3, 4, 5, 6, we seem to be able to get the job done and pull in a lot of points, plus get some decent gear.
What is that called on the events? we're talking about events, right?
Yes, we are. It's called the Craiglorn Run. Craiglorn thing that I run on Saturday nights at 9 o'clock. Currently, I'll run it right after the meeting here.
I believe it's titled Anomalies, right?
Yeah, it is the Anomalies. So, but we seem to get 40 done in 2 hours, plus some bosses, and it's great for bringing up your I don't know what they call them, like your bow. If your bow's at 30 and you want to get it to 50, strap that bow on and bring it. Skills. Then they're also good for, picking up some EXP, and we're getting more now in Craiglorn than we did before, so that's going to help too. So to get the lobies up.
Yeah. When you say 9, are you talking about Pacific, or because I could never make it on 9 Pacific?
No, it is 9 Eastern time. 6 o'clock server time, but except for when there's meetings, and then it'll be right after the meeting.
Okay.
Right. Does anyone have any events that they would like to promote?
We are now trying to work on doing 2 Hell Raw groups, one on Sunday, and we're trying to get one started on Wednesday night. The problem is Hell Raw is a 12-man dungeon, and I have at least 16 people interested, and it becomes really hard to pick and choose. So what we're doing is those who will go on Sunday will help fill in so that the ones who didn't get to go on Sunday can go on Wednesday. This will be the first week of the attempt, and it's going to be interesting to see how it goes tomorrow with all the changes have been made. So if you're on ESO and in the guild, or you're listening and you'd like to go, get a hold of Perfect Prissy in game, and we will add you to the list of people who would like to go.
It's not really event specific quite, but do realize that there is a trading thread for loot, since all of the loot in Imperial City is not on the marketplace yet, and it is bind on equip when you pull it out of the vaults and the loot boxes. So feel free to take a look and trade with people as you get more and more stuff that you don't need.
Monday night Blood and Steel, we will do that in True Flame. I will try to get on a little bit earlier, maybe an hour before the event, if anyone needs to help queuing in a True Flame so that we can get you in.
I have a Wednesday night AVA event called For the Realm, which is 6:30 server time, and it's fun. We do something a little different every week. Last week we did run in Imperial City, which has been quite fun to do. So if you like to have fun and have a laid back good old time, just show up for that.
For the realm.
For the
That
realm.
was good. That was good.
So, I guess JGR, Palace isn't on right now, but Friday Night Lights with Emperor Palace is a weekly event. We're typically later server time. If you happen to be Pacific time zone server time, we start around 9 p.m. Usually pick what we do as it comes up. Last night we did Imperial City. It's a lot of fun. So if you are one of the few late nighters Pacific time zone, look us up.
Follow up on Friday Night Lights. The group has been working on taking down all the veteran dungeons, and the veteran Imperial City dungeons are next on the checklist. So we're getting familiar with those routines and are more than willing to start branching out to more groups to bring more people in.
Just a warning on the Imperial City dungeons. We tried them for the gold key today, and the vet modes are not scaled properly.
Yeah,
Very
it's
hard. I can't wait.
Really, really, really difficult.
As in, you take 3 vet 15, 16 characters and 1 vet 5 in, and you stand no chance on the bosses. Just about.
Or 415s and a VR1 going and VR1 leveling, and it's impossible.
So we had a similar experience with the Ash Titan in the city of Ash. One level higher than we're used to doing it, and he would blow up 3 of the party in the first round. So there are some scaling problems, but eventually either we'll work through them or the game will.
Well, we're pretty sure it's just some scaling issues, so we're just gonna continue to provide feedback as we note things in different groups. You know, provide feedback on a dungeon once that your scaling is wonky if you try it, and give them a little time to try to fix it.
Yeah, I have heard.
There's always bugs.
I highly encourage anyone with positive or negative feedback in terms of the Imperial City launch to please go to the ESO forums. Please. They do read them.
And guys, I just want to say this in regards to feedback reporting. Developers will love you forever if you present them with a problem and you present them with an idea for a solution. What they hate is when somebody just rips into them and tells them that something sucks and gives them no clue as to why it sucks or how they would make it better. I can tell you right now that nothing feels worse in the world than putting years of your life into something and then having somebody just rip into you and tell you it sucks. You're basically saying that that guy's last 2 years of his life, instead of spending with his wife and kid, were spent building a piece of crap, and nobody likes that feeling. So be gentle with your words. You'll get heard a lot more, and a lot more changes will happen if you can be kind rather than just ripping into somebody. So definitely think out what you're saying, plan it, present the idea of why it's not a good idea, and present a solution for that idea, and you'll get a lot better response.
Yeah, they read the feedback and bug reports in the game too.
Honestly, I personally am opinion we should treat the developers we're working with as if they were part of the Gaiscioch family. I mean, it's just polite.
I would definitely do that, especially being most of their developers are in the Gaiscioch family. So while I was at PAX, I found out just to what extent ArenaNet has infiltrated our family, and we should be very thankful.
Wow.
They are among us.
They are all over the place. We have, and it's not just ArenaNet, not just ESO. We have probably one of the biggest celebrities in gaming history riding alongside us. So when you trash talk a game, just realize that the person that poured their last few years of their life into that game might be sitting right next to you enjoying the same dungeon you are. So be kind, guys, because we have a lot of developers that call us home. This is where they feel safe of calling home and where they can be a player and not a developer. So, we want to keep that feeling for them, and we want to keep those doors open to them and let them know that we respect the time that they put into things, and that while they have ideas, we have ideas, and people like Tirza or others who have been riding alongside of our family have been listening. And if you look at the Guild Wars 2 Heart of Thorns, you see everything we've been talking about for the last 2 years. They've been alongside us the whole time, and they've been listening, and they've been taking notes, and they have built this game around the very feedback that we've been giving for years. So, you never know as to what extent it'll be. So, be kind, and people will listen, and they will enjoy your feedback rather than dreading it. So,
Is it better to provide feedback via game through feedback, or better through the forums?
I've gotten a really good response in the forums. I've actually had them respond to my posts, and yeah, I've gotten
both
really
are good. I would do both.
I think
both are
they
good.
respond well to both. The only detraction to the forums is that you have to put on your bulletproof vest and know that there are going to be people that are going to flame at you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Put on your troll repellent and
Gotcha. Thanks.
All right, guys. So we're going to do question and answers for ESO. Does anyone have any questions before we get on to the 101 segment, which is about chapters?
We missed a couple of events. I just wanted to go over them real quick.
Go for
we
it.
still
Go
are
for
doing gold and silver key runs. The gold keys are generally done at VR1, although sometimes we do them at higher levels, and those are to teach you proper mechanics and positioning and rolls, tank, healer, DPS. The silver keys we've started doing at VR15 and VR16 when we can, in order to get the drops because the maps are so rare. Also, there are map clears in both non-vet and veteran.
Yes.
Sounds good. No more events? Oh, my Thursday night event will continue in Blackwater Blade. We'll most likely be mixing up between IC and actual Siege Warfare. I do like myself some Siege Warfare, and the city is great and all, but I do miss the castle sieges, so we'll probably be bouncing between the two.
One other thing with events in ESO, we have talked about the idea of Telvar Stone farming events, specifically for getting your VR16 epic PvP sets. So those may come about randomly, and there's usually groups running them that are not pre-made. So just kind of look around and expect some of those to pop up every now and then.
I suggest we do that a little differently. We need at least 10 people to do that, and you should carry 1,000 stones with you so that it's a protected group, and just run the dungeons right there around our base camp. It'll be a terrific event. Put it on the schedule. Get 10 people signed up.
A lot of
It'll be
success with
fantastic.
groups of 4 or so. Just because 4 to 6 people, you actually split the stones across less people, so you actually get more.
Outstanding. However you need to do
Thinking of
it.
starting 2 different events, one for just grinding Telvar stones, and one either doing the daily quests upstairs or making pushes down to fight the simulacrum of Moloch Ball, where you definitely need 10 people for that at least. And you get a chance of getting either the rare Scamp mini pet or the Soul Shriven skin.
Sounds good.
I'll be hosting Imperial City runs on Tuesdays and Thursdays for anybody interested.
Awesome.
At what time? Just curious.
2:30 server.
Okay.
All right, everybody, still got a lot to cover, so I'm going to jump on to the 101 because I figured that would probably answer a bunch of the Q&A as well. So, this month's topic is chapters, the opening and closing of chapters. There has been a lot of rumor mill circulating on the ESO side that I'm going to pull some kind of plug, and that's not true. So I kind of wanted to outline what has to happen before that ever happens, and that's even on the table. First and foremost, before that's ever going to happen, we're going to have something else already on the table with more demand and have similar features to the one that we're going to be pulling. So there's nothing on the horizon right now that's even remotely close within the next 2 years that's even coming in close to threat with that. So you guys don't have anything to worry about. The only time that we would really pull it is if it becomes detrimental to our community and things start going blades in. At that point, we'd end up pulling it. But that's just, that's when we get down into the 150 range and people start pointing fingers and playing the flame game. I'll cover that a little bit later. But first, I want to kind of show you how we go about selecting our chapters. So how are chapters selected? 6 steps. Step 1, we gain 250 supporters through the poll on our site. On the right-hand side, you'll see the Battle for Gaiscioch. That's our poll. If you look, you'll see this little black box down there on the right side. It'll list 15 different games, and you'll see numbers next to them, which is how many people support them. Each member of the family has 3 votes. They can vote for 3 games. We have our current chapters on there. We have other games that are potential chapters, depending on who's interested in what. Like right now, we have Camelot Unchained, which is kind of leading the pack with 246 votes. They still need 250 to even become a potential, and even still, even if Camelot Unchained was 250, that's a straight PvP game. There's no way we're going to replace Elder Scrolls Online with a straight PvP game unless there's a significant reason to do so. The next closest is EverQuest Next, Black Desert, Crowfall, Bless Online, Land of Britain. Those are pretty much the players. And as I said, none of these games are coming out anytime in the near future. So EverQuest Next, who knows when it's coming out? You know, I mean, they haven't even talked about a release time frame yet. And there's other games like Chronicles of Elyria, which just popped up on the radar and don't really have any kind of video of substance. They just have kind of a plan. We could see a lot of different things, and it's going to be people selecting what they want to play, and we're watching that. And then what this tells me is that for the magazine, the live streams, the various news that we're reporting, Camelot Unchained is a highly watched game. So I'm going to go and I'm going to find information about that and present it. Now, if we get 250 votes, that doesn't mean it's going to be a chapter, and I'll show you why. Because we have is step 1 complete. There's still 5 other steps to do. Step 2 is developer contact. This is a real critical one. We have to have contact with the development team. If we don't, things go bad. We've seen in the past, if somebody gets locked out of an account, we don't have anyone to contact. We have to go through traditional channels, and we can't really solve the problem. If we find a critical bug, we have no one to report to. And we don't really have anyone to talk to about what's coming or have any say in how it develops. When we have a developer contact, we can poke ideas by them and be able to kind of talk to one another about what ideas would be great for the game, how can we move this in the right direction, what areas are we lacking. It becomes a real dialogue. So like, for example, Camelot Unchained, Mark Jacobs and I communicate all the time. And that's just because we've had a relationship going since Dark Age of Camelot. So it's not a new thing. We did this in Dark Ages, we did this in Warhammer, and we're doing it in Camelot Unchained. And whether or not Gaiscioch goes Camelot Unchained full steamed or not, we're still friends, and we're still going to support him in what he does. So, he's a great guy, and he's always fun to talk to. So. But that's why we spend so much time developing these developer contacts. And when we get that 250 supporters, that tells me you better get a contact. So I go out there and get a contact. And then we get to the pre-evaluation. Pre-evaluation is big. This is I think this is the slide. Yep. So games are ranked against a 277 item compatibility matrix. This is pretty much, we drew up a list of every feature that makes a game good for Gaiscioch. And we came up with 277 items ranked from stuff that would be nice, to stuff that is kind of needed, to stuff that is necessary, to stuff that is required. There's 5 tiers that these items are ranked against. And each of the pre-qualifications needs to score above a 60%. The reason it's 60%, not 70%, is because it's still a early stage of development. So we don't know what all is going to be in there. So we try to score it above 60. Even if it's like 50 or something like that, we'll probably still look into it and see what's up. We really don't want to run that pre-evaluation too soon, because if we don't have all the cards in the deck shown, we can't really give an accurate judgment. And then it must meet the minimum requirements. We are not going to roll into a game that only allows 9 people to be in it. Not saying any names. But yeah, games that have 9 guild members until you level up the guild, not going to happen. I don't care what world we live in, I am not going to try to slam 500 people into a 9 guild game. No. So there are minimum requirements. Being able to house our family, being able to nurture our family, being able to have activities that our family can do. These are things that are absolutely required. Without it, we have no chance of survival, even if we do have the support. So that's pretty much the pre-evaluation. Next comes the creating a seed. If it clears pre-evaluation, we'll go in, we'll create a seed, which is pretty much a post-launch 3-month evaluation period, where we'll basically launch a Gaiscioch. We'll go for 3 months, and we'll evaluate. Where does this rank? And if after 3 months we have more than 500 active members, we'll run through our final evaluation. it must meet the minimum requirements. Again, we've had games that met the minimum requirements when we were in testing. We announced that we're going there, and then they pull features that were minimum requirements. We aren't doing that anymore. This is why we have the seed program. We're giving it a 3-month trial so that we know these things are live when it goes live before we make the announcement that Gaiscioch is throwing its full support there. The final evaluation, again, is a compatibility matrix scoring of the 277 items, and it must receive a score above 70% at live. So that's kind of the biggest difference between the pre and the final. Now, the difference between chapters and seeds. Chapters receive website support, so all the features that you get on the website, leadership, fellowship, all the claiming of stuff, characters, all of that stuff comes when it becomes a chapter. The marketplace support, we do a video trailer for each game that's launched. The community events, like Great Terran Adventure, Tillara Saga, the big family community events that we try to host, those are basically scheduled in. And then we have dedicated elders set to that game, so that each of our teams of elders basically says, you know what, I want to be here, I want to be there. And a seed is just time-based events, so you basically claim 15 minutes, half an hour of playtime together. That's the only thing that you can claim. We do a lot of evaluation of tools and services at that point, and if we don't meet the minimum requirements, we will end up closing that branch. So for the seed. That's just so that we can avoid things like we've had in the past where, you know, everyone loves it for the first month, and then boom, it's vacant afterwards, and we're just dragging this corpse behind us. You know, it's really, we want to make sure that this game is going to be right for our family. People are going to be excited to play it, log in and play it, and we're not going to end up supporting a game that pulled the rug from underneath us. So, population goals. Over 500 is our ideal chapter. We always try to keep population around 500 or over. Ideally, in my perfect world, it'd be closer to 1,000. That typically means between 50 and 100 people online during peak times. The reason this is like this is because we are a casual gaming community. We are not hardcore. We do not have people that play every day, all day. When you're on SOR TeamSpeak, you will hear people talking about how they spent 8 hours today scouting a keep. Nobody in this family is expected to ever play 8 hours of a game in a single day. If you do, wonderful, but that is not the norm. That is not even close to the norm. We do not have that many people that play that much and that intently. We have people that log on for 2 hours a week, 4 hours a week, you know, once every other week, and what it comes out to is about 50 people online during the peak times. And that's a good number for people to be able to find people to do things with, do dungeons with. 250 or over is kind of the minimum. That's where things become painful. You guys in ESO have probably noticed this. It's harder to find groups. It's harder to plan activities. When you do things like AVA, it's harder to be productive. It's harder for you to be successful because you don't have the tools that you need to be able to complete the task. Under 250 is really when it becomes an at-risk chapter, and that's because mainly the lack of population creates animosity and blame. People love to start pointing fingers and basically saying that it's somebody's fault, or lack of support this, lack of that, and they start the blame game, and that just feeds this cancerous ball that ends up turning into nothing but hate and anger, and that usually will lead to a closure, which is at the 200 mark. Anything under 200 is very much a chapter closure waiting to happen, just because the chance of survival is minimal and the chance of permanent damage imminent. That means that a lot of times when we go under 200, we see people that leave the family for good. They don't leave for a month because they're angry and that we pulled out of the game. They leave forever. And we want to avoid that at all costs. We want to try to leave on a good note. We don't want to, you know, let it go down and have people blaming one another over a chapter closure. So we don't close chapters too often. We've only done it 4 times and 3 times in the history of Gaiscioch. Yeah, so it's not something that we like to do. Each time that we do it, we learn a little something else. But as I said, you know, ESO is nowhere even close to that. I mean, our numbers are low for ESO right now just because it's summertime. I mean, it's It's traditional to have a lull in summer. This is normal. This is how it is every year. So I would not panic at this point. It's not really even something to panic about. Now, when we handle a closure, pretty much the elders will do a situation report and evaluate whether this branch can be saved. What can we do to save it? What can we do to help, increase whatever, population, increase the amount of events we do. A lot of times we'll start devoting more elders to it, trying to nurture it, and try to get those numbers up. If we can't, then we plan a family meeting with a Q&A session about how this is all going to go down. Then step 3, we announce a closure date 2 months in advance. If the situation changes in those two months, we could very well reverse that decision and end up keeping the chapter. So if things do not improve, we hold a farewell event and we close the chapter in good faith and good name. It's much like a business. If your business isn't performing, you end up having to close it. That's just the way it is. I don't want to have any of you guys run into the dirt and feel like it's your fault why the guild didn't succeed somewhere. It's not your fault. It's, people play things that they like to play. And if people aren't enjoying themselves, they're not going to stick around. There's nothing you can do, nothing I can do, nothing anyone can do that's going to change that. You can't force a person to play a game they don't enjoy. That's pretty much the gist of it. I mean, it's really a simple system. It's worked well for us in the past, and we hope to continue it. I don't see anything that on the horizon that really threatens ESO at all. The only thing that would threaten ESO is the people that are playing it, and if they decide to keep playing it. And if they decide to start attacking one another, that's when we'll start considering pulling the plug. But until then, I don't care if this drops down to 100 people. As long as they're being nice to one another and there's a community there that enjoys playing the game, we're going to support them. So does anyone have any questions? We have one from Twitch that said that he noticed the seed survey went from 2 to selecting 3. Does that mean that we are considering moving to 3 seeds in the possible future? No. We will only have 2 chapters at a time, period. That's including a seed. The reason I give you 3 is because we currently have 2 chapters open, and I want you to basically say which other game out there do you enjoy. Some of us play both Guild Wars 2 and ESO, and those would be our number 1 and number 2. But what other one interests you? Because I want to kind of grab the picture of where you guys are looking, what type of things interest you, and I can monitor over time where your votes are lying. So if, Land of Britain announces some cool thing next month, and all of a sudden the Land of Britain votes soar, I know that whatever they just announced interests you guys. So I need to make sure that that's on our sheet for compatibility scores. We really want to kind of watch what you guys do, and you're able to change these votes at any time. So if you see a game that all of a sudden you end up liking Bless more than Land of Britain, you can flip Land of Britain to Bless. And that'll reflect on my metrics that come through so that I can say, okay, so interest is changing from Land of Britain to Bless. And that allows me and the magazine team to go hunt better news for you guys.
I have one question, Fog, for my Havoc night that I don't like on Wednesdays since you've been doing the, I always like Tuesdays. So I was going to do it this Wednesday, but when is that beta and you're not going to be doing it up in World versus World? Is that this coming week?
Let's hold that for later.
All right.
And yeah, that's this coming week. This is for Gaiscioch 101 questions.
All right.
So we have one from Jerome. Jerome, go ahead and ask.
I was thinking, given that you talked about Camelot Unchanged and how it's the pure PvP aspect of it, if we had strong communities maintained in Guild Wars 2 and ESO, but we also had a strong community over there that wanted to do that, would that be a possible consideration with 3?
No. You'll only do 2. Doesn't matter if there's 1,000 people that want to play Camelot Unchained. If there is not a branch closure, we will not go into Camelot What we would do probably is form up a little casual group of people and have somebody else run the guild, and let people play together that way. We can also, I am working on something that's going to be announced during our State of the Family in November, that will also help cater to that. But there is no way in the world that I can run 3 different chapters at the same time. I would lose control, and things would not be the same experience that you guys are used to. As it is, 2 is very, very difficult to do and maintain.
Thank you.
Are there any things that we can do to help people get involved in the beta so that they can actually experiment with those that are lower in the list?
What do you mean lower in the list?
Well, like a lot of those games are in beta. They're lower in that list of what people are voting for.
Yeah, if I get opportunities like Shards, for example. Shards approached me and said, hey, can you get people? Well, then I'll post it on the forums and get people together to go do it. The trick is having them give us the opportunity to do that. And if that opportunity is presented, we will be more than happy to form a team regardless of what it is. Even if it's not even a game, we'll try playing. Like, I got a stack of gigantic cards to give to you guys. So, it's not a Gaiscioch game, but some of you guys might like to play it. And that's kind of the thing, is that Gaiscioch will help any developer test any game. But that doesn't mean that we're going to go there full time. So it's just we've got to keep in mind what we as a family are good at and what we do and what we bring to the table in this MMO scene. And we don't want to be every other guild that's out there. That is not where we want to be. I don't want to be the Syndicate or the Acclaimed or anyone else. I want to be Gaiscioch. I want to have our brand and our name mean something in this world, and I want developers to respect that name. So it's really, what can we provide for the community, and if the game doesn't provide what we need to make that a entertaining show, we're not going to go there. I mean, that's just the way it is.
I got a question about the votes.
Okay.
You know how much I love Guild Wars 2 and how much I like ESO. So can I remove my votes from those 2 and put them into something else that I may like to vote? Because I don't want to show that I don't love Guild Wars 2 anymore. I just would like to vote to something else, because you guys already know that we love Guild Wars 2, right?
Right, but if those numbers are lower than another competitor, then we start wondering if that's a replacement for that number. So you want to keep your votes on the game that you really want to be a part of right now. At least 1 vote. Use that 3rd vote for the game, your top pick out of the new guys. But you really want to kind of leave it in the Guild Wars 2 and ESO if those are games that you really want to play.
Okay.
Any other questions about this?
About the Facebook, it's not mandatory, right? It's not
No.
like we must be on Facebook. Okay.
No, not at all. It's just a side thing. Any other questions? Alright then, let's move on to magazines. Alright, so issue 7 is kind of mid-production right now. It's going to be titled Human Connections, kind of taking the experience beyond the game. We're still looking for some interviews and such to pull off. We're currently in our research and writing phase. We are targeting October 26th as a ship date, and we should have some of the articles that got pushed back from last issue pushed into this issue. So we should have a pretty good sized magazine again. And I'm right now writing an article kind of explaining the life that I grew up in playing video games in arcades, and how that was a really big social experience, and how we transitioned from there to the living room experience where we would have the Atari and sit around the TV and play, all the way through the internet experience where at first we couldn't talk to one another. So we really got isolated. And then now we're back in a phase where we're learning to communicate again. So I'm kind of talking about the whole transition of gaming and how we've gone from being a social experience to being an anti-social experience, and now trying to find our way back to being a social experience. So I think it'll be a really good little article for you guys. And then I'm also doing one kind of on the, when you play games, you don't really think about the human side of things and how you make other people feel in games. And I'm kind of talking a little bit about, the emotions that come with the game and how, while you wouldn't think that you would feel this way about things, you end up really kind of feeling in these games. And it's a human connection that you make. There are people like at PAX Prime. I saw Luna again, and I swear to God, she's like a grandma to me. I mean, I love the lady, and I've met her for a few years now, and I see her like one time a year. But if anything happened to her, I would go to no length to go help her. So you really kind of grow past just the digital avatar and into this role of actually knowing and loving one another, and that's really kind of the experience that I wanted to kind of shine across in this issue. So you can look forward to that coming October 26th. If you want to join the magazine team, we have a meeting this week coming up on Wednesday. Always love new editions. Any idea that you have, anything you want to write, even if you want to do a guest article, we welcome it. We pretty much publish anything that people want to write about. So feel free to join. We'd love to have you guys. So, as always, Monday night, 6 p.m., streams of Epic Adventures. Smitty, Soren, and I go on crazy adventures, doing terrible things, and blowing up my computer, apparently. Last week, our episode got cut short because my computer literally melted a fan. How exciting. So, I got a new fan now, so we're ready to go, and this week, I believe we are playing Black Gold, which is the best game you guys are never going to play. It's really kind of interesting. It's such a wonderful game, but has no marketing behind it, and nobody even knows about it. But the game is most likely going to be shut down before it ever sees the light of day, and it's probably one of the little hidden gems that nobody ever sees, but wish that they had. So definitely tune in Monday night, 6 p.m. Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, we have the Siege War. One on Guild Wars 2, one on Elder Scrolls Online. That's 6 p.m. Pacific. And then Fox Side Quest, I've been streaming all kinds of games. I don't even know where I'm going with this. I am so random, it's not even funny. Yesterday it was kind of entertaining. It was a really good game, but sad that the company that made it didn't survive. But hey, that game was well worth the $2.50 I spent, and you can look forward to all kinds of random adventures on Fox Side Quest. So this month's live stream schedule for the Streams of Epic Adventure, we have Black Gold on the 7th. We have Chivalry on the 14th, and I'm calling all arms. Anyone who has Chivalry on their Steam account, on whatever account, if you have Chivalry, download that sucker and join us on the 14th. We are going to have a wicked good time playing bots. So we're not going to go up against real people.
I'll be there.
We're going to play against bots, and we're going to just go to war and have a good time and get some laughs and kill each other, and it'll be fun.
Oh.
Just stay away from Kitty. I will warn you right now. She will put an arrow in your keister. And then on the 21st, we are going to take two, return to Neverwinter for the 4 Relics of Ire, which is the storyline that I built in the Neverwinter series. Hopefully, the Foundry will actually be turned on again so that we can play it, unlike last time. I'm hoping to have Old Goat act out a part, Soren act out a part, Smitty act out a part, myself act out a part, and really kind of bring this story to life. It does have the Gaiscioch side quest line in it, so we're going to show you guys that. And then on the 28th, Soren and I and Dawn and possibly some others are going to live stream Rainbow Six Siege. That should be a really fun little event. So if you're interested in guest starring in that and have a beta code, let me know. We'd love to plug in some more Gaiscioch and get our little team together so that we can go have some fun. And if you are a Rainbow Six fan, I will drop this bomb right now. Humble Bundle right now has the entire Rainbow Six series on sale for like $10. Not only Rainbow Six, all the Tom Clancy games on sale for $10. You can't really beat that. It's like 14 games, 15 games, something like that, for $10, and they're all really good. So check that out. Humble Bundle helps support charities. And lastly, go ahead, Soren.
Sorry, I was like, if anybody does want in on the Rainbow Six beta, I have 5 available keys. So hit me up on the site to send me a PM, and I will send you a key.
Nice. Toys.
Lots of toys.
Hi, Smitty. You're late.
Hey, Smitty.
I'm so late.
You'd have to sing.
So I want you to put that dunce cap on and go face the chalkboard and write, "I will not be late to class."
I had a good reason.
It better be a really good reason.
I was watching a movie with my wife.
Oh, okay. You're off the hook.
Okay. Yeah, that could be lethal in real life if you didn't participate.
Kitty, why do you say stay away from GOG.com? They are wonderful.
Because Turney just spent $150 on retro games, so yeah, stay away from it.
Yeah. I know that feeling.
You
I got
think
200
that-
titles
you
over
think
there.
So if you think that's bad, you should see my Humble Bundle collection.
Just to let you guys know, in the next issue of Gaiscioch Magazine, you can look forward to a nice interview with GOG.com. So, there you go.
How's that for a tie-in?
Yeah, thanks, Kitty. Way to set that up for me. Anyways, live stream statistics, twitch.tv, we are creeping up slowly. 294 subscribers. If you got any friends that like to watch Twitch, toss them our link, gsch.info/Twitch. Say, hey, can you tweet out this stream? I don't know, if you guys use Twitter or any of those other things, please just pass it out there. We're trying to grow these numbers and start building up a nice little network. We have a ton of content that we're spitting out now. So it'd be really good for our community to get some exposure and get some of these game companies to notice us and whatnot by going ahead and doing that. So,
Did you see the question on whether you're going to show anything of the strongholds in Neverwinter at all?
not yet. That is going to be in a future one. Join the Extra Life campaign. The entire Neverwinter series is going to be in the Stronghold. So we're going to be doing all kinds of things for that 2 hours. So that's kind of where I'm going to be dropping that bomb.
Alright, just FYI, for anybody who does want to participate in that, I have a character that I leveled up over level 60 with the elemental evil stuff. I will gladly help you run stuff in order to get you leveled up, so that you can be effective in the level 70 zones that are stronghold stuff.
Alright, so viewer-wise, we had 845 increased views on our twitch.tv. YouTube has launched their gaming channel now, so if you go to gsch.info/YouTube, you'll see a really kind of neat interface. We now have 333 subscribers on YouTube, plus 12. It's still not as popular as Twitch on a viewer-by-viewer basis. We do not get the number of people watching live. However, we get a ton of people watching after the fact. We had 2,400 views of our videos in the last month. So, yeah, Twitch is our live stream place. YouTube is our post-stream place. So, someday that might change, but right now I'm going to continue streaming to both and, hopefully grow those numbers. And then our Twitter is growing 5 new people. In fact, 3 new people yesterday by streaming that one Wolf game. So I never would have thought I would have so many people interested in that Wolf game, but I had 18 viewers at one point watching that Wolf game. So it's yeah, gsch.info/Twitch, gsch.info/YouTube, gsch.info/Twitter, or /Facebook, or /Google. Any of those will work. That's our little short domain to get you to where you want to go. So, final questions and answers. Does anyone have any questions and answers about the whole shebang here?
Hey, Fog, do you have it?
do you have any recommendations on how we can help increase the number of viewers to either our live or our on-demand stuff?
I would be sending out tweets, Facebooks, Googles. If you still have a MySpace account, go ahead on MySpace. Saucy. But yeah, pretty much just spread the word. Tell your friends. The other thing I really want to do is start trying to get some of the other streamers to join us on our stream. I'm going to start writing letters and seeing if we can get like Markiplier or one of those guys to come on our stream and play a game with us, or maybe even a few celebrity cameos. I am working on a couple of arena nets to see if they can get permission to be on a stream with us and go do random stuff. With Gigantic, when we stream it, I've already got confirmation that they will be more than willing to stick one of their own people on the team so that we can go play Gigantic with the dev. That should help numbers. The biggest thing is, getting people to know about us. I mean, we've got great content. We've got great games that we're showing. Tons of stuff. We have the Siege Wars that happen Tuesdays and Thursdays, and people like tuning into those. Every person that we get to subscribe gets an email as soon as we go live, and they get notified what we're doing. So it's definitely, it's definitely something that we can do. The biggest thing is that we want to keep it respectable, and we don't want to turn into, the PewDiePie. I'm sorry, PewDiePie. I love you, man, but you have a foul mouth. Really bad. So we're trying to stay away from that as much as possible. But, if you like those type of streams, there's a million and one of those. But we really want to kind of be the homely, down to family type of network, where we basically show the Gaiscioch values in whatever we do. So
That is much appreciated, by the way.
that, and I gave up my backwards Tupac beanie back when I was in high school, and I don't do that anymore. So if you want to hear me swear, just go to a bar with me. Right, Nona? Yeah, sorry.
Hey, Fog. What do
Yes.
we have to do to get you to the next one of these? And sing song.
Sing a song. You know what happens when I sing songs.
My ears are still recovering.
I would love to hear that.
So, once upon a time, I was in church choir. Yes, I was in church choir. And I would try to sing. And my instructor says, son, please just say watermelon, watermelon, watermelon to yourself. Just say it over and over and over again. Everybody in the audience will think you're singing, but you won't actually be singing. Because when you sing, son, angels die. So, I was given many talents in life, one of which is multitasking like nobody's business. But singing was not one of my talents, so I refrained from it by all costs because I like my angels. They've been good to me.
So are you going to be at the event in San Francisco that you mentioned?
No, I will not.
About Twitch, can you add a quality option for the streaming? Because I think one of the problems is that it's streaming on top quality, and that's what is killing my itty bitty tiny bandwidth South American committee.
If you're having problems with Twitch, you really should be using YouTube. Twitch still is very kind of old tech based. They haven't quite moved to HTML5 and the wonders of buffering through HTML5. YouTube is very good for that. So you can definitely watch the YouTube and it won't lag as bad as Twitch. That would be my recommendation, at least until Twitch upgrades. I don't run Twitch. I can't make Twitch do anything. Twitch doesn't even talk to me. If I had 5,000 people following me, then Twitch might talk to me. But right now, I'm just a little booger on their windshield.
Yeah, I just used YouTube. It's working like a charm. Wonderful.
Yes, Twitch is twitchy.
Better a booger than a rock chip.
True that. So does anyone have any other questions before we close this down for the week or the month?
I don't have a question, but I would like to say something.
Go for it, Jay.
I made a forum post now about a month ago, which was titled Putting Myself Out There. I posted 3 videos of me dancing, which is about my passion, maybe above video games, maybe not, hard to decide. And I would like to thank you guys that left some comments on your comments and your feedback. It was really greatly appreciated. And yeah, if I find time and space to do it, you'll see me put up a new video of me doing all the GW2 in-game dances.
That would be awesome.
Nice.
Oh my god, that would be awesome.
Can I put that in the family video, because that'd be awesome.
I'll think about it.
You need to learn the ESO Red Guard dance.
Yes.
Oh my god, no.
Pokey.
Oh,
Required.
You could
We
make a
need
lot
a
of money
video
with
of
that
that.
one, that's for sure.
I don't like the Red Guard one.
Oh, it's amazing. I wish I could move like.
Mad respect to you, Jay, for being able to dance and having that thing called coordination. Me, I just fall over the ground and make it look like I'm making a mess in the ground. So
I had
props to you.
That worked.
Where
I
is
can-
this post?
I can slow dance like nobody's business, though. I do circles really well.
Give me one moment.
Guys, I gotta go. Dinner calls. Thank you guys for the meeting.
Hey, Kitty.
Alrighty, guys. In closing, be sure to join us on the social media, the gsch.info/Facebook, gsch.info/YouTube, gsch.info/Twitter, /Twitch, /Google. All those are active. Definitely tune in for the Extra Life event, gsch.info/extralife. That's a really big event. Met the guys from the Extra Life event at PAX. Really good people. Looking forward to this year of really kind of having a giant event for everybody to entertain themselves for 2 days straight. Events at all hours of the day. So thank you so much for being here, everybody. You guys are really wonderful and really make this special. So thank you for showing up, and I will see you again next month. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Fog.
Thank you.
Thank you, Fog.
Thanks, Lord.
So are you the purple Jay?